Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it up for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to discuss, no one said it was going to be easy to lose the weight. Now, before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, especially from the psychological point of view, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, all my recipes and my articles there, my podcast, The Awakened Man, my books, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Now, we have kind of similar psychological episodes here. I'll put some in the banner about how, like, weight loss, for example, weight maintenance is 90% psychological, and much of it stems from childhood trauma. And look, I talk about in the Confessions of an Obese Child playlist, all 20 episodes, and in Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior as well. We can't really dictate the cards that we're dealt. We're all dealt a certain deck of cards. And we can't really affect where we came from, or the parents that were given to us, or the siblings, or horrible or good circumstances that happened to us as children or later on. We can't determine those things. They're out of our control. And complaining about it or using that as an excuse for where your plight is right now vis-a-vis obesity doesn't really help. We talk about it a lot in the episode, Don't Have a Loser Mentality. Because what's the point? I mean, we could say, oh, I'm obese, or I'm an alcoholic, or I'm a drug addict because I had a neglectful mom or an alcoholic father, similar to what I had. But ultimately, how does that benefit you? You blink 5 years later, you're still fat, and you're probably going to be fatter. And so how did that give you comfort? What it is, the part of the loser mentality, and look, having a loser mentality doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means that you temporarily have a loser mentality. It's just a series of excuses for not to do hard work. Yes, there are a lot of guys, like your trainer, if you have a trainer, or people you might know from when you were younger, or people you see at the restaurants or malls that are beautiful and young and chiseled and seem to have a perfect life, and maybe they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or whatever it is. You think back at the most popular guy at your high school, most popular girl in your high school, and you think they had an easy life, and maybe they did, or maybe they didn't, and they couched it really well. But either way, that's out of your control. You can only worry about you. Envy is a poison only we concoct, that only we drink. It's pointless to be envious of people. Now, sometimes you can use that envy to motivate you to work harder, and if that works for you, that's great. But ultimately, hating people because you think they're successful and you weren't, how does that help you? It doesn't help you at all. So yes, maybe you were not given a great life. Maybe you didn't have a great start. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Look, I hear you. If you're suicidal or sad, get help. I was there. I talk about it in Confessions 19. And it could be a very hard road for you. Maybe you have a lot of weight to lose. Maybe you have a lot of demons to exercise. But what's your other option? Just be steeped in self-loathing and just let yourself get fatter? How's that going to help you? It's not going to help you. So yes, losing weight and keeping it off is hard work. It is hard work. And I talk about the fundamental difference between weight loss and weight maintenance. What are the strategies that are different? You have a little more leeway with weight maintenance than you do with weight loss, even if you're exercising for both. But it is hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Keeping it off for 30 years has not been easy. It's been rewarding, for sure. My life is different. I don't think that I ever would have experienced a lot of the things that I've experienced because of if I was still overweight, or they would have been different experiences. But with anything that's hard, it's worth it ultimately in the long run. And it's better than the situation that you're in. I mean, you think of a child who needs to learn how to walk. You think of you learning how to drive. And both of these are not really good examples because losing the weight and keeping it off is infinitely harder. But what are your options? Your options are just to stay the same and be steeped in self-loathing and hatred. How is that going to benefit you? It's not going to benefit you. So you have a choice to make. You either stay where you're at and be upset and sad and bitter, or you try, at least try. You might fail. You might maybe lose 10 pounds and gain 12 back, but again, it's a little success. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But you have to try, and it is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to lose the weight, but more importantly, because some people can lose weight by crashing. It's one thing to lose the weight, but look, it's going to be hard to keep it off, but it's going to be rewarding, not because your life's going to change, because I talk about in the reflection series, I still felt like a fat kid in a regular person's body, and you do have to go to therapy for that. You have to exercise those insecurities out of you, and you have to exercise all those irregular, disordered eating habits that you developed when you were younger. But ultimately, your life is better, and if for any reason it's better because you have a longer life expectancy just by being regular weighted than if you were morbidly overweight. So for that reason, you should do it. Right? We don't want to enable bad behavior, and this is why I had that video on why the body positive movement is so horrible, because we're enabling a vice, we're enabling a bad behavior that's going to shorten that person's life expectancy. So out of true charity and love for somebody, we would tell them, yes, you need to lose the weight, yes, you need to stop drinking. But in this PC cancel culture world, we can't say those things because it's seen to be hate speech. So yes, I will tell you, losing weight's hard. Keeping it off for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years is hard. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's possible, especially today where there's so many biohacks. 1990 when I started, we didn't really have bariatric surgery. Not that I did bariatric surgery. We really didn't know about fasting. We were still in the Ansel Keys, fat is bad, carbs are good for you paradigm. So, in some ways, today is the easiest time to lose weight. So, that you have that in your favor. But it's going to be a struggle and it's going to be hard, but you can do it. If you optimize it, if you surround yourself with good people, if you find a good program, if you find good people to talk to, people that you can relate to, like I talked about in the previous video, one of the reasons why you should watch this channel is because I've done it, right? Your trainer hasn't done it, your doctor hasn't done it, I've done it, but you can do it. You want to set yourself up at the most optimal level to be able to do it, and then you can do it. You need to have that positivity, because negativity is just going to keep you mired in self-loathing and obesity. And again, how is that helping you? So yes, it's hard, but everything that's worth it in life is hard. But once you accomplish it, it feels really good. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.